What's up guys, Mitchell Watts with Town & Country TV, and today I'm very excited to bring you this particular video. This is a 2020 Ford F250 customized by TCcustoms. We got two different phone numbers if you want to reach out to us. The top number is going to be the number you reach out if you want to customize and build and order a brand new truck. We can do that for you. Or the number below it is if you want to customize a truck you already own. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and show you a couple things that we've done to this truck that makes this so different from every other TCcustoms truck we've ever done. First up, let's talk about the suspension system. This has got the BDS 4-inch coilover suspension system. And one of the reasons I love about this is going to be one of the most overkill suspension systems, which is kind of one of the themes of this particular truck. But this suspension system is one of the most overkill suspension systems on the market. And I mean that in the best kind of a way. The reason for that is the coilover. If you didn't know, the coilover basically means that there is a coil over the actual shock absorber. Now, the shock absorber is also a Fox reservoir, which means that it has got a reservoir, an extra tube basically that allows for extra fluid to go into. Now there's a couple different benefits for that. One is the fluid's not going to get nearly as hot if you're going to be doing some high-speed off-roading, or if the suspension system is going to be doing a lot of cycling. It allows for the external reservoir to cool off some of that shock absorber fluid. I love that feature because it's going to make sure that this thing also lasts a little bit longer than normal as well. Now the next up, let's talk about the wheel and tire. Because we've got this 4-inch coilover system, it actually clears the way for 37 by 1250 Toyo Open Country MTs. Now this is a really cool tire. This is, if I had to pick a mud terrain tire, this would probably be my favorite. Now, as you guys know, I'm a big Nitto ridge grappler. In fact, I just purchased some and put them on my personal Raptor. But this, if I was going with a mud terrain, might be the tire that I would choose. The reason for that is because it is the quietest mud terrain tire that I could justify putting on my truck. So yes, it's going to be a little bit louder than the Nitto ridge grapplers, but a lot of people don't realize that Toyo and Nitto are made by the same parent company. So that's something that you need to know about that. But this is going to be an extremely quiet mud terrain for what it is. So it's a great choice. Now the next thing you've got a set of fuel wheels. I think these are the Tritons if I'm not mistaken. Now when I first saw these wheels show up from the carrier, I actually thought they were forged until I got a little bit closer and picked them up. You could tell they're a little heavier than a forged wheel, but that is how good the finish looks on these particular wheels, is that it actually looked like a polished wheel from a far distance. Speaking of, we've actually got a couple of, the reason I thought they were the forged wheels is because we actually have a couple of sets of fuel forged wheels on order that I think just showed up. And then we also have, I think, some American Forces. They're going to be going on some future builds. So make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel with the bell notification turned on so you don't miss any of those videos. But one thing before we move on to the next part, I forgot to mention to you, is going to be the radius arm. So as you can see, this particular suspension system does feature a brand new radius arm. So things like Ready Lift and a couple of these other manufacturers, they make great suspension systems, but they retain the Ford factory radius arm. There's a couple of benefits with going with the BDS. Obviously, since it's going to be a little bit longer, you can have some more suspension articulation and not feel as much of that vibration inside the cab of the vehicle while you're driving. Something that you definitely need to know about. One thing I love about this particular truck are going to be the amp power deployable running boards. As you can barely see, they're actually tucked away very nicely. Now these are not just the normal amp power deployable running boards. So Raymond actually reached out to us and said, hey man, I live in New Jersey. It's cold, snow, ice, all that kind of thing. So he made a special request to have these, which are the extreme version of the amp power deployable running boards. The normal ones that we install, which we've not had any failures, just to be totally transparent, but it only has one motor on each side of the running boards. So when you open the door, it opens up and shuts. Basically, it only has one motor. This set of boards actually has two different motors, which will help you power through some ice and some snow and things like that if you have that, which is going to be perfect for this time of year that's coming up soon in New Jersey. So that is a very nice thing. You'll also notice there's a couple of different variations of amp power deployable running boards. Every single one of these that we've had have been fantastic, not had any warranty issues that I'm aware of on any of them, even the 1 motor, the 2 motor, and even the XLs, which drop down another 3 inches further than this one. But I think that with the 4-inch lift kit, the 37s, I think this is the perfect amount of drop for me to get in the vehicle, because as you guys know, I'm 6'3", and it's absolutely no issues to get in and out of the truck itself. So there you go, the power deployable steps, the extreme version with the extra motors. One thing you'll probably notice on this particular build is there were no expenses spared. And one of the reasons and proofs of that is going to be in this Ford logo. So one of the things I love about this is we at TC Customs actually take the emblem out, we disassemble the entire emblem, and then we can sand and repaint either one of the portions. Now, everything that you see red here used to be blue from the Ford factory. When we disassembled it, we were able to sand it, repaint it, put it back together. Now, if you want, you can also have this chrome piece painted any particular color, but we thought that it was going to be the perfect color combination to go with the rapid red, and then the chrome grille, and then the chrome bumper, and then also the chrome Triton wheels. So we think it's the perfect amount of red and chrome and getting rid of all of that extra unnecessarily blue. And the same goes for the rear emblem as well. Once again, the rapid red with the chrome overlay. It's a beautiful, beautiful combination. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about is going to be the B&W tow and stow hitch. Now, the reason I love this particular hitch is because it is so adjustable. If you've ever hit your shin on one of these, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But you have the ability to come in here, and I'm usually not doing it from the opposite side, trying to make sure you guys have a good view from the camera, but you pull these 2 pins out, it drops down. Now, the benefit for that is you can actually slide it up into the trailer, put the hitch back on. You don't have to crank your trailer up and down, up and down, up and down. But the other benefit is you can actually turn the ball, and this is why they call it the tow and stow, but you can actually turn it all the way around, put the pins in it, and so when you're not using it, you have the ability to stow it away. But one of my favorite features of this particular hitch is going to be the ability to have this thing turn into a little step for you. So if you're needing to get something out of the bed of the truck, you can step right into it, get what you need out of the bed of the truck without actually having to drop the tailgate down every single time. So I think that's a pretty cool little setup, and I think it's one of the most hidden features of the B&W tow and stow. On the inside of the truck, you'll see that most of it is left largely untouched as far as the customization goes, and there's a pretty good reason for that. The main particular reason is it doesn't need much. As you can see, this is the Lariat trim level, so it's going to have a couple of different things. This one particularly has the air conditioned and heated seats. As you can see, you've got the power seats all the way around. You've even got the power telescoping steering wheel, which I think looks fantastic. Now, one of my favorite features on this particular truck is going to be the auto high beams. So not only does it have automatic headlamps, but it also has auto high beams. So it can tell if someone is in front of you, and it can turn on the high beams whether or not there is someone in front of you. Now, the other cool part about this particular truck is all of these custom works, and you can see it only has 46 miles on the odometer. So just a little bit of a proof that we're over here customizing these trucks literally brand new off of the lot. Now, I'll show you another couple of cool things about this particular truck. And let me go ahead and turn this thing off so that way you don't hear the heater. But as you can see, this one does have, I'm trying to do this with one hand and hold the camera in the other, but you do have the power twin panel moonroof, which is one of my favorite options. Not because I ever opened that twin panel moonroof, but just because I like the extra sunlight. So maybe that's just a part of me, but that front panel also does slide back. And so that's a very, very nice feature. I'll kind of give you a look at what that looks like on the outside of the truck as well. And speaking on the outside of the truck, we also have your roof clearance lights that are located right here. I will tell you that is something that came from the factory, and I don't know that I would ever be willing to install these after the fact. We've heard of a lot of different horror stories where people are adding these after the fact, not from the factory, and you have leak nightmares out of these things. So that is going to be my word of the wise. If you want those roof clearance lights, make sure that you do not go with an aftermarket setup. Make sure it is from the factory directly. And one of the things that makes this truck more unique than anything you've probably ever seen is going to be the motor specifically. As you can see, this one has the 6.2 liter V8 gas burner engine. So a lot of these Super Duties, people go with these big nasty diesels diesels. And I have to admit, the 1,000+ pound-feet of torque in the diesel is a great option. But if diesel is not, readily available in your area, or you just don't want to deal with a $150 oil change, the gas burner is going to be a great option for you. And also you have the customization ability there as well. So the gas is going to be a great tried and true motor. In fact, that 6.2 originally came out in the F-150 Raptor back in 2010. So we're talking about a motor that has got plenty of longevity, that has been out for quite a while, and Ford has not seen any need to change it up, which tells me that it's probably a very reliable motor. So yeah, the 6.2 in an F250 with some coilovers, I think that's pretty cool. And there you have it. That is our review of this beautiful 2020 Ford F250 built by TCcustoms.com. And once again, a huge thanks to Raymond for reaching out to us all the way from New Jersey and actually having us custom order and then build it out as it is. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. It's been a lot of fun to make this truck, but also make the video as well. And I just think it's awesome that you reached out to us, and thank you so much for your business, Raymond. We really, really appreciate it. If you haven't already done so, make sure you thumbs up this video. It really goes a long ways in helping us with the YouTube algorithm to make sure the cool content like this makes it to your inbox and makes it to other people's. So we really, really appreciate that. And if you haven't already done so, make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel with the bell notification turned on so that way you don't miss any videos. And yeah, let's do this. Let's go ahead and take the truck, load it on the carrier, and send it off to New Jersey. Thank you so much for watching this video, and have a great day.